right, let's hope this works. Can you hear me? One never knows with all of this. It should be all right for the time being. I was experimenting earlier with a private stream to see if I could get EV to work. I got it to work fine yesterday. I was testing it and everything, and worked great. So I thought, you know what? I'll give it another shot. And came along in here, and it didn't work. Um, there's a different layer that I switched to, and then it did. Yeah, but it's a little more complicated to work it that way, and I'll work at it some more. But it's just the odd thing, and probably the next time I go to it, that won't work either. It's like it changes every time I go into it. I don't know what to make of that. It's bizarre. But nevertheless, I said, all right, I'll default back to Rumble Studio. And the thing of it is the only way to do the super tips this way is, of course, to go through the OBS deal that I experimented with earlier. And that's a little difficult to try to do the comic show with. So if you want to send a super tip, go ahead. And I'll be able to switch over to that at the end of the show and check them out, and I'll play them, whether it's the voice tips or just the text one, either one. I'll go ahead and it'll display on the screen. So there we go. I'll get to it. A. Thompson, I hear you. Okay, good. Oh wait, Doug M. Effin Nelson. That's not my middle name, but I guess for today it is. A. Thompson, it was just a phase, though. Those, right, Doug? A phase? I don't know. The comic books? It's a little bit more than a phase. A. Thompson, it works. Yeah, it's working now. Well, yeah, this one works. Yeah, it's fairly simple. I assume I'm doing something wrong, but how could it be different every time? You know, it's weird. Works great for Pat, but not for me. AV Muggs likes Pat. They don't like me. Hey, Thompson, I cannot see you. I only see comic book. Yeah, I don't have the camera on. There's no point. I'm just going to be reading comics, so I'm not going to bother with the camera. And even when I go to OBS, you'll still see this the comic book thing. Hey, Thompson, can you just use YouTube Studio? Yeah, I never bothered. I guess I could play with it one day, but I got used to this one, though. It kind of works out. But anyway, it's not going to, I'm pretty sure it won't have the bells and whistles that the live streaming platforms have, and that sort of thing. Could be wrong, but I'll check it out if I find the time to. But anyway, might as well get to another exciting issue of Space Cadet, or Tom Corbett Space Cadet, which did become a TV show in the 50s. Yeah. But I don't know if that one, if it was based, if there was a radio show version. A lot of times, a lot of the early TV shows had all been radio shows. Yeah. And they became TV shows, like most famously Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke was a pretty long running radio show, and then it became the very long running TV show and stuff like that. Yeah. Do you own these comics? The ones in the panel? Geez, now I got to go back and look. I don't think so. I think I have none of the originals. Absolutely not. But a facsimile. I think I got like a collection. And I think Moon Girl's in one of them. I'm not sure if I can't remember. There's a couple of those. I know what I'm thinking of. Image Comics did these redo, or like a follow-up. It was called the Next Issue Project. So a lot of these old comics, of course, they were canceled, And so this was an Eric Larson thing, and he did this, and they were presented as they were back then. So they were bigger in size, and they had like at least 64 pages to them. And I think that's Shock Gibson there with the tank underneath him, and he's got lightning bolt hands. And so one of his, or at least the comic book anthology he was featured in, was done. Like, so they basically followed up if there had been another issue following that one. And it was an interesting little experiment. I liked it. I got a couple of those. Moon Girl is actually the property of EC Comics. That was the publisher famous for, Tales from the Crypt, Weird Science, and then eventually Mad Magazine. They tried their hand at sort of a Wonder Woman knockoff, Moon Girl. Yeah, who's basically the stylings of her I based on my Wonder Woman knockoff of Moon Mage from my American Super Society, or ASS for short. And then some of the Owl there in Prize Comics. Some of that, probably not. I don't think that had much to do with Night Knight. But Sun King, almost entirely, his look and suit was taken from Adaman there, the guy in the yellow and red suit with, with the, the yellow singlet and then red tights or whatever. Anyway, that was what I went for on that. Just a little extra tidbits. Hey, Thompson, we need a collection tour. No, you don't. Well, yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, sometimes a lot of like Wednesday comics, I'm going through older comics that I own, like that Hobgoblin thing, or the Green Goblin, and now Hobgoblin thing has been doing stuff like that. Although sometimes I just pick images from the internet of the comics I have. I suppose I could just display them on the table and that kind of thing. But anyway, hey, Thompson, how did you get your start collecting comics? Did you start with like Batman or Superman? Yeah, them and Spider-Man was a big deal. But I was introduced to them through cartoons, as a kid. And I found the comics but that would have been late 70s, early 80s. And towards in the early 80s, got very serious about it because of Spider-Man and Secret Wars story and all that. And that was it. I was ruined after that, became a lifelong addiction. Although there was a 7-year break at one point. Anyway, on with our feature presentation. Excuse me for a minute. Always all news stories. Well, you would hope, because it's another issue. Now, I've already done issue 1. I'd forgotten that I had. You probably have too. I probably could have done it again and nobody would notice, but I didn't. I went ahead with the latest. So this is a little bit later. This is 1955. But it's public domain. So a lot of these I go like the supposed golden age of comics. Well, that's over with. And it was barely even 10 years. That was mostly the World War II years, when the superhero comics broke out and became a big thing, and then kind of faded, and then came back strong after the Red Scare eliminated just about every other genre because they thought it was a communist plot to ruin America and stuff. And perhaps it was, who's to say? But anyway, in order to protect themselves, that's when the Comics Code Authority was introduced, because the government threatened to censor them themselves. So they had to do it on their own. And they said, hey, don't worry, we're going to make sure certain stories never get. So for a long time, like horror stories just were forbidden. I don't even think you could do werewolves and stuff for a while. Certainly the crime stuff, you couldn't do any of those. I don't know, but science fiction you could do. Here's this guy showing these little aliens who's boss, Hey, get off of me. I'm going to show you the Earthman's burden. So there we go. Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Yeah. So, let's see. When space pirates strike at peaceful interplanetary travelers, it becomes a task for the valiant space cadets. and Tom Corbett faces mortal danger with his fellow cadets as they come to grip with the Outlaws of Uranus. Oh, jeez, it's these kind of pirates. Oh, boy. Now, don't worry, ma'am. I think you're going to be all right. But the guys, Well, anyway, aboard a spaceship en route to Io. What? A moon satellite of the planet Jupiter. Seize him, and he's what? Oh, he's Edward's son, the Earthian banker, and take the girl. They'll pay a heavy ransom for Marla, the Venusian ambassador's daughter. Well, in a few moments, the raiders leave, laden with valuables and taking with them their two hostages. The prisoners and captors head towards two small spaceships whose deadly ray guns menace the huge interterrestrial craft. So there they go. They got to basically swim through space from one ship to the other. But anyway, a short time later, captives and raiders blast off in the direction of distant Uranus. It was them, all right. The Outlaws of Uranus. What'll we do? Only one thing to do, friend. Contact the Space Guard. Just dial 911 and hope they'll be able to round up those criminals. Else it won't be safe for an honest man to move from one planet to another. Yeah, that's a good point, You don't want these guys running around, taking everyone to Uranus. And that same day at headquarters, Space Academy, Commander Arkwright receives Captain Strong, Polaris Squad, Space Squadron, in his office. Captain Strong and Polaris Squad report to Commander Arkwright as directed. At ease, gentlemen. As you know, gentlemen, we have been plagued by an outbreak of piratical acts along the route to Jupiter. We know these raids are the work of a gang led by the notorious outlaw Norbeck. Our task is to stop these criminals and capture them. The raiders are operating from Uranus. All right, come on, guys. We don't know the location of their base. It's probably Uranus. All right, damn it. That's why I sent for you and your men, Strong. I have a plan. Cadets, Corbett and Astro will take passage on the space liner for Io. They will wear civilian clothes and pretend to be wealthy young men on vacation. By flashing, lots of money, we hope they will attract the attention of the raiders' spies and provoke an attack on their liner. An attack, sir? Exactly. It is our hope that Corbett and Astro will be captured, held for hostage, and brought to the gang's hideout in Uranus. Yes. But, sir, I don't understand what good will that do. Both cadets will be equipped with the new powerful lapel transistor electro radio senders. Cadet Thistle, that's his name, will be at a listening post on Asteroid Delta. When he gets word from them, our task force, under your command, will make a surprise sweep attack. I see, sir. This is a dangerous mission, and no cadet can be forced to take an assignment against his will. My cadets will have to speak for themselves. I'm with you, sir. That goes for me, too, sir. Same here, sir. That's what I thought your answer would be. You may return to your quarters. Commander Arkwright and I will work out the details. Dismissed. Well, you see, that's really courageous of those young lads in space, especially when they're risking Uranus. Excuse me. My goodness. That's embarrassing. Well, back in their quarters, Tom and Astro give way to their jubilation while Thistle sits glumly. Flaming rockets! Isn't this something, Astro? Yahoo! Uranus, here we come. Hey, let's keep that down. This is terrific. How about it, TJ? Yeah, it's great. What's the matter with you, TJ? Your chin is hanging down to your knees. Leaping cosmic dust, Tom. How do you expect me to feel? Here you guys are going off to Uranus where all the excitement is, and I'll be sitting up on that lump of space junk asteroid Delta. Don't let it throw you, TJ. Your part of the job is more important than ours. If you don't pick up our message, Asshole and I will be sunk. I guess so. Cadets, Corbett, Astro, and Thistle, report to the orderly room for final briefing and to draw equipment. Yes, sir. Now they still got Venetian blinds in the future, you know. Proceeding according to their prearranged plan, Tom and Asshole arrive at the Transstellar Space Station on Deimos, where... Come on, asshole, let's get rid of some of this money. I'll buy you a space drink at the lounge. Sure, pal. There's still time, and when we get to I.O., we'll really have a time for ourselves. As Tom and Asshole walk off, 2 pairs of eyes look after them. Later, those are the ones Norbeck will be pleased. Let's buy our tickets for the I.O. flight. I'll signal Norbeck when we're in space. At the scheduled hour, the Jupiter-bound passenger craft blasts off, with Tom and Asshole aboard. Don't look how, Asshole, but I recognize one of those men behind us. He's Androck Gardo. I recognized him from his picture in the Space Guard fugitive file. I have a hunch he's the contact man for Norbeck. Sit tight and be ready for anything. Jack, I wonder how we'll get in touch with the Raiders if he's the man. And they have newspapers, in the future. What the hell is that? So what is that? Okay. Perhaps Asshole could have satisfied his curiosity if he had seen Androck some hours later. He would have seen Androck proceed to the waste chute where he dropped a small cylinder into space. So what, carrier pigeon? As the cylinder tumbled out in the wake of the speeding ship, it burst into brilliant flame. Well, there goes the message, marking the flight of the Starliner and a speedy spaceship some miles away. The signal light is picked up by Norbeck, who has been scanning the vast and limitless reaches of space through his asshole thermo-infra tele-screen. There's Androck signal. That means it will be worth our while to take the I.O. Europa Jupiter Express. Tell the control deck to close in or have the gun crews at their stations southfall. Contacting other ship. Yes, sir. That was great. Soon in the control room of the passenger ship. Zooming rockets, look there. What are those fools trying to do? They're cutting us off. Are they crazy? I'll call them X4135. That'll piss them off. To unknowns. Veer off. You're heading it our way. Veer off. Pull up X4135. Prepare to receive a boarding party. Our next shot will blast you out of the sky. Oh, jeez. Forced to obey the Raiders, the pilot of the interplanetary passenger craft breaks to a dead stop as space-suited outlaws move towards the liner. Moments later, take those 2. They're carrying a lot of money. Someone will pay heavy ransom for him. After wrecking the passenger ship's transmitter, the Raiders rob the travelers and order the big craft to blast off as they transfer their prisoners through space to their own ships. In a short time, Tom and Asshole are brought to Uranus, to the outlaw hideout in the caverns of the remote mountain area of the distant planet. Norbik himself interviews them. Then you'll not give me any information. Very well, we have just the treatment for our stubborn guests. Guards, take them down to the mines. A little work will soon make them change their minds about talking. So I took a fix of our position. I'll send the message to TJ. Good. I've got the position too. It won't be long now. That's what you think. The guards lead the two cadets down into the bowels of Uranus' surface, where other prisoners are toiling in the deep pit of a mine, digging out precious gems and other minerals. Miss, I know you from your pictures. You are Marla, the Venusian ambassador's daughter. Yes, but don't let them know. I wouldn't give my name. Oh, if you could help us, please. We'll all die. Wait a minute. I thought they did know who she was. That's why they kidnapped her. All right. I'm going to do my best. Here, work close to me. Like, let's grab a hold of each other. I'll grab you by the breast. You can grab me by the junk. I'm going to try to send a message. Muffling his voice, Tom sets the tiny button-sized transmitter into operation. Dogwood, this is Captive. Position Vector 12094808. Repeat. Vector 12094808. Azimuth 95, grid -11. And miles away in the listening outpost on asteroid Delta, Thistle keeps his lonely vigil. Jumping cosmic dust. This is the most boring job I've ever done. There won't be any messages today. I think I'll stroll over to the canteen. There's a pretty good astral teleshow coming on in a few minutes. Moments later, the long mute receiver comes alive and Tom's insistent message is received. But no one is there to hear it. Dogwood, this is Captive. Position Vector 12094808. Report Vector 12094808. Azimuth 95, grid -11. You there? Hello? And on Uranus, or in it, as Tom finishes his urgent message, an alert guard notices that he is not working and seize that man. Asshole, get out of here. Keep broadcasting. Hide in the old mine tunnel we passed. I'll put up a fight to cover you. Tom fights boldly and gamely. Until, give up or I'll kill the girl. All right, I surrender. Oh, jeez. In there, into solitary. Norbik will decide what to do with you in the morning. Solitary. Looks rather sizable. Well, anyway. And we've got a pretty good idea what he'll do. Ho, ho, ho. He doesn't like troublemakers. You better say your prayer, pal. You're gonna need him. He gonna make you squeal like a pig. I've got to think of something. They'll kill me for sure, or worse. I know. Oh, God. I'm sick. All right, wait a minute. Last thing I want you to do is puke all over the solitary cell. I just washed it. Now what do? All of a sudden, I feel much better. Meanwhile, Asshole feverishly repeats his message over and over again. They got to hear me. If not, we're sunk. Dogwood, this is Captive. Position Vector 12094808. What? In the listening post. Position Vector 12094. Yep. That's what you get for leaving TJ behind. Suddenly, there's the other one. I had a hunch he might be hiding in here. Come on out with your hands up, you, or I'll blast you. Don't shoot, I know when I'm licked. As the guards lead Esso to the cell block, a blast from a paralyzer gun stops them in their tracks. Huh? Tom, how did you? No time for that now. Grab their guns and let's go. We have to work fast. The space cadets approach the slave mine pit, and Tom unfolds his plan. Apparently, Norbik and his boys are having a big shindig in the main cave. I scouted them out now. We'll knock out the guards with the paralyzer rays, free the prisoners, and bust up Norbik's party. How's that? If you say so, it's okay, Tom. That's good enough for me. Make every shot count. Give them half a charge. That'll stun them for a few hours at my signal. Open fire. I'm set. Fire. Bzz, bzz. The space cadet's fire finds its mark, and each of the guards is frozen in place. However, this causes them to void their bowels. All right, you prisoners, come on. We're space cadets. Follow us. At last, freedom. We can surprise Norbik and his bunch if you follow my orders. All weapons at has charge. We don't want any killing. Don't fire until I give the signal. Any questions? No. Meanwhile, the unsuspecting Norbik and his outlaws are having a gala time. One day soon, boys, we'll rule the roost. You won't regret sticking with me. Suddenly, fire! Bzz, 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 bzz. They'll be like this for a while, asshole. See if you can get through to TJ. Check. And at the listening post, position vector 12094. I will repeat. That was a good show. That was a good show. The message, it's coming in. Having received the message, Thistle contacts Captain Strong, and in response, Thistle's alert. Task Force Strong takes off for Uranus. In a short time, Norbik and his men are rounded up. The prisoners are returned to their homes, and the mission is accomplished. Back at Space Academy. I'm mentioning each of you in my report to Commander Arkwright. Thistle, because you did so well on Asteroid Delta. We are setting up a permanent listening station there, and you will be in charge of it as a reward for your excellent work on your assignment. Well, thanks, sir. Asteroid Delta, why does everything happen to me? Wah, 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 wah. Oh, that's too bad for Thistle. But he just wanted to go see a show. Was that so wrong? Yes. Yes, it was. I mean, honestly, what good are you if you're not going to pay attention? Oh, well. Somehow it all works out, doesn't it? Hey, Thompson, so when you see a comic movie, it must suck because you already know how it ends. Well, there's only like one or two that's kept to the source material. I mean, like the Rocketeer movie, that's pretty damn close to the Rocketeer comic book. Then there's Iron Man. That's pretty much Iron Man's story. Spider-Man, yeah, kind of. Some of the Batman movies, yeah. There's a bunch of other stuff in there, though. I mean, you already know, Superman's going to win, right? Kronos Godwisen's Super Friends. Yep. Super Friends pretty much introduced me to the Justice League of America. Hey, Thompson, like the Star Wars guys, I have never, ever seen a Star Wars comic before. But these Star Wars comic guys know every little detail. Yeah, I've seen a handful of Star Wars comics. They're fine. Hey, Thompson, the Outlaws of Uranus are not from the Valley of Men. Well, one wonders. Kronos Godwisen, how long until Elon puts wing on his rockets? Yeah, well, he did. Yeah, he's the one. On some of those initial ones, they did look like Flash Gordon type rockets. Yeah, if it makes sense and it's feasible, his spaceships will be more stylish than your usual one, you know. Total pain in the ass. Elon remains UFO untruthful. So he's keeping it secret. He knows all about the aliens. Total pain in the ass. Ha! Kronos god was in the medieval dungeons of Uranus. Yeah, I don't think we got the full story on that one. And it's just as well. You know, and you got to have some sort of sympathy for, you know, the victims and all. Anyway, Space Academy test. How good a space cadet are you? Is Tom Corbett right or wrong? Or maybe it's Corbett. I don't know. Our Earth spins around and around, and in addition, it is flying through space at a speed of 1,600,000 miles each day. Right or wrong? What do you think? The star Sirius is silly. No, it's serious. But it's so heavy that a piece of it this size, just 1 cubic inch, weighs a whole ton. That's a lot of space gas. You mean I couldn't pick up a little piece like this? Right or wrong? Galileo was the first man to explore space with a telescope and the first to make important discoveries. Right or wrong? With modern chemistry, we can make nylon stockings. That makes the girls more fuckable. Paint, perfume, even candy from coal. Right? Or will someone check right? But wait, can you read upside down? All answers are right. So we learned something, didn't we? Yeah. We learned that Tom Corbett is always right. So you better listen to him, especially in this next adventure called The Invaders. Attack by an alien life form was not a new danger for Earth, but this time there was a good chance that the attack might succeed. This time the space cadets themselves were the invaders. How can they be the invaders? I mean, unless they're, I don't know. Hey, look at the design of the alien ship, you know. They were trying. That's a little something different, you know. Well, anyway, Captain Strong, we've been hit by something. Oh, can you be a little more detailed? I'm deep in space. A Silver Needle cruises toward Earth after a routine patrol. The Polaris rocket tubes hum a song of power. All is well. Then suddenly, trouble. Bad trouble. Hit those controls, asshole. TJ, hang on. We're going into maximum acceleration. No use, sir. They're closing fast. They'll open fire again in a second. Not if we return their little calling card with interest. Power deck and navigation, stand by. Battle procedure. Range, mark. Bearing, mark. Like the precision machine they are, the Polaris crew jockey her into position and on target. Oh, man, he broke one of their cool little thingies. Yeah. Well, they're going to be upset about that. Direct hit, but all we did was damage one of their fins. They must be heavily armored. Too heavily for us. An Earth battle wagon might be able to stop that ship, but we can't. Power deck to control. 2 of our tubes rail. Probably fused. We're losing thrust. Which means we'll be a sitting duck before long. Tom, when I say the word, give her a hard right. All she'll take. Now. That did it. At the speed it will take them half a minute to orbit and come back for another pass, but we're not waiting. It's his voice. Let's go, Tom. Well, anyway, in seconds, the Polaris is space miles away. What the hell is a space mile? I don't know. And the alien is left far behind. But the Earth ship is losing thrust fast. Sir, look, we're off the regular space lanes, and I can't be sure, but I'll bet that's a planet down there. If there is, it will be tiny and uncharted, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay, Tom, take her down. The rocket knifes downward, reverses for landing, and for long moments, all is silent. Blinding. A rocket can be fatal. Altitude 30,029.28. We're through the cloud bank. At 28,000 feet, the witness is impenetrable. The whiteness is impenetrable. The whiteness? But at 27, the clouds vanish. The rest is easy. Gently, the Polaris makes planet fall. Tom, Captain Strong, what happened? Where did that ship come from? To outer space. I wish I knew, asshole. But we'll discuss that later. Right now, we've got work to do. Earth-type planetoid in early stage of development. Gravity normal, sir. Atmosphere breathable. We won't need our space uniforms and helmets here. You heard the man. Strip down. Normal, the man says. Jumping jets, sir. Look out there. It's like the tropics, and this is February. A simple natural phenomenon, asshole. The atmosphere absorbs Sol's heat, and the thick cloud bank prevents it from escaping. That's called global warming, Thistle. Let's skip the statistics for now, Thistle. We've got to get those damaged tubes replaced and turn in a report on those killers. Killers, sir? It seemed to me from the angle of their fire that they meant only to disable us. Sure, and I'm the Queen of the May. What, you are? No, idiot. Come on, let's get to work before our little playmates catch up to us again. They already have. Look. They sat down behind that red, sir. Do you suppose they spotted us? I doubt it, Tom. They probably landed for repairs just as we did. But now maybe we'll get a few answers. Quickly, the little group splits up. Asshole and TJ remain with the ship. Tom and Captain Strong plunge into the lush undergrowth. There they are. That one just below us is setting up some sort of trap. I wonder why. The waiting is not long. One of the planetoid's rabbit-like creatures. Rabbit-like creature? Oh, okay. He captures one of the creatures. Approaches the trap. Soon after, the trap snaps shut. He's taking it into the ship, and the others have finished their repairs. If they all go inside, maybe we'll get a chance to get closer. And the others do go inside. There are no hostile eyes to see when two figures race to the side of the alien ship. Sir, I don't get it. What are they doing? That's some sort of electronic setup, but what is it for? We are ready. Captain, I heard that one speak, and I understood him. No, his lips never moved. They must be telepathic. Among themselves, anyway. They can't pick up our thoughts. Thank God. Some of the things I'm thinking right now. But anyway, or they'd be out here, Tom, there's a second rabbit forming around that pile of cogs. A duplicate of the living one. Good. The damage done us by the Earth ship did not harm the reproducer. A pity it is not an Earthman there on the table, Manx? Aye, but we shall know soon enough what Earthmen look like. We have only to find other specimens, duplicate them, and let them pave the way for our conquest. True, we shall rest here, then on to Earth. Well, it looks like he's talking now. But anyway, the minutes tick off, and outside 2 human beings listen and begin to understand. when they rejoin their companions, they are white. They've been white all along. I don't want to shake it. Robots? You mean they can duplicate anything, anyone? Then TJ was right. They didn't want to kill us. They wanted specimens. Exactly. Exactly us. They're planning an invasion of Earth. Their robots will pass as men. Men who can destroy and sabotage. Unlike, regular men who never do anything like that. That ship is just an advanced scout. After the robots make Earth helpless, they'll attack. Their whole fleet will come. And we don't dare blast off to warn Earth. But Earth must be warned. If it isn't, they'll just find other humans to duplicate, sir. I've got an idea. Tom speaks rapidly, explaining his idea is rash, daring, but there is no choice. It's worth a try anyway. Astro, TJ, how about it? Need you ask, sir? We'll show the blighters if we're lucky. If not, well, not all of us can live out our allotted 70, can we, sir? Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to any of that, but So it is decided the plan is a long shot, a deadly gamble, but when the cadets leave the Polaris later, it is as if they are headed for a frolic, not danger. Let's strip down and get wet. All right, let's go. Make plenty of noise. When the aliens come, watch yourselves. Whee! 3 cheers for our side. Hoorah! It takes only moments. The aliens are not far off. So this is what Earthmen are like. The telepathic vote is cold, impersonal. It crackles orders. Add the cadets to the alien ship. There are no preliminaries, no discussions. Captain. Hang on, TJ. Whatever they're doing, it doesn't seem to be harming us. Don't let it throw you. But it's like a nightmare. Those things are us. Only outwardly. Take it easy, TJ. Oh, only outwardly. Take it easy, TJ. Don't panic. It wouldn't do any good, and it might do a lot of harm. The duplication takes only moments. Then the robots are taken away, and the cadets are removed to a tiny metal cell. The Polaris, they must have prepared it. She's taking off. With those robots under controls, and after our telling the aliens that we're from Space Academy, that's where they'll head. All we can do now is hope. But of course, hope is not a strategy. Tom, this was stupid. Heartsick, the cadets watched their beloved Polaris climb and vanish. Then the long hours drag by. A day crawls by, too. Then on the 3rd day, the aliens blast off. And there are no shock couches in the cell. The acceleration squeezes the cadets against the floor, blacks them out. Captain, we must have blacked out. And we've been out quite a while. That's Earth out there. Boys, look, rocket exhausts. Then our trick worked. It must have. Those must be solar guard ships. We're hit. Grab something and hang on. Oh, wait, maybe it's the guy saying, I don't know, grab something and hang on. From here on in, those aliens are going to get a lesson in space combat. The alien ship rocks under the trip hammer, blows. The blasts are aimed at her controls and tubes, but the damage is enormous. Seemingly, before it has begun, the attack is almost over. Solar Guard to Invader. This is Arkwright of Space Academy. You have 30 seconds. Surrender or face the, consequences, whatever. No, this cannot be happening. It is impossible, Manx. How could they have known about us? They were waiting. It looks like our position is hopeless. These Earthmen fight like demons. Bring the prisoners quickly. Half a dozen aliens race to the sail where the cadets are hailed. Then a familiar grin leaps across space. Strong, why are you naked? Did everything under control? From A to Z, sir. They've surrendered to me and the boys. I guess you got our message. If you'll escort us down, we'd be much obliged. You might want to get us some pants. Yeah. Planetfall is uneventful. The fleet sets down on Earth. Then, after the greetings, after the cadets have donned proper uniform instead of walking around naked, the aliens are brought in. Now we'll get down to business. Business? I do not understand the word. But there is no need for talk. We have failed, but we shall die bravely. We are ready. Oh, shit, it's still going on. Jeez. Die? It is easy to die, Manx. But a man who wishes to serve his race can serve far better alive than dead. When he's dead, he just sits there like a sack of shit and rots and stinks. We have no intention of executing you. You will let us live, but we attacked you. True, but Earth wants only peace and friendship. With our planets, if I offered friendship, which would you choose, Manx? To be our living friends or our dead enemies? Well, when you put it that way. Quietly, Commander Arkwright extends the hand of peace, and the aliens have learned a bitter lesson. After that meeting, there are others, and at last. Well, there they go, boys. I'm glad they chose friendship. Manx is a high official on his planet. I don't think we have to fear another attack. Until they need something or whatever. Frankly, sir, I hope not. Those robots are bad medicine. And speaking of robots, when did you guess the truth, sir? About the robots? As soon as they landed, you see, the Space Post guards attempted to arrest them. Thanks to your scheme, one of the robots was damaged. Under its synthetic skin, there was metal. Oh, it's a good thing that happened. You mean that wasn't your plan? But no. Anyway, as soon as I saw that, I had our techs check the robot mind, tapes their orders, and our part was simple. But how did you ever get the idea for your plan, Tom? From Manx, sir. When I heard him say that he'd never seen an Earthman, it stood to reason that if they copied us, they'd copy us exactly. So we all went for a swim. And, the water was cold, so. And that was it, sir. I wonder what Manx would think if he knew what really happened when those robots landed the Polaris on Earth. So do I, sir. It must have been quite a sight. No wonder the guards tried to arrest the robots. For a decent exposure. I can just picture it. A captain of the Solar Guard and 3 space cadets landing a ship and stepping out onto the Rocketville in the middle of February in swimming shorts and nothing else. Yep. He risked all of humanity for that. Oh, well. I guess it worked, Oh, okay. I'll keep going. Oop, 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 oop. Captain Quick and the Space Scouts. I guess this is some other division of the space services or whatever. Anyway, across the treacherous wastes of Mars, Captain Quick leads his space scouts, Bob and Paul, on an exploring expedition seeking clues to the history of the great canals of Mars. They find instead the deadly trap of a giant and vicious canal frog. We'll make camp here, space scouts. Paul, gather brush for a fire. Bob, get some water from the canal. We'll cook us an old-fashioned meal tonight, That ought to be cool. I don't know. Captain Quick, Paul, look what I found. A flower made of crystals. We're coming, Paul. I've heard legends of the jewel flowers, but I never believed they really exist. I read about that, Captain Quick. Aren't they supposed to bring death to anyone who finds them? Well, since you're the one who found it, sucks to be you, huh? But anyway, there's a lot of superstition. Ew. The hell? There's a lot of superstition written about those jewel flowers, but there may be some truth about the danger they bring. We don't know much about them, how they grow. Look, there's a trap door in the side of the cliff. Something is coming out. Rabbit. Jeez. A giant frog. Why, it looks just like the one we have on Earth. But not this size. And frogs have voracious appetites. Get your guns out, you idiots. Captain Quick, shouldn't we run for the ship? Not a chance. The frog would overtake us in one leap and devour us in a flash. He's getting set to jump us. Blast away his space scouts. Maybe we can scare him back to his cave. Ow, ow, ow. It worked, Captain. Go and bit. Yes, but right along. I suggest we make a beeline back to the ship. But first, I'll take one of these crystal flowers with us. All clear now. Look, the frog is coming out again. I guess he's trying to figure out how to get us. What a beauty. No wonder there are legends about these jewel flowers. Say, we ought to get a space merit badge for this discovery. I wonder why no one has ever brought in one of these flowers before. Probably because one of those giant frogs lives beside this kind of flower and has made a meal out of anyone who came to pick it. Look, the flower changed into sand. Plain, ordinary sand. And that's the reason why such a flower has never been brought in. Once it is picked, it changes as it dies into sand. Huh. Now, what the hell is this about? Well, it's over. It says, unless that's the name brand of his suit, the N spacesuits. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's over. Okay. Collision orbit. Automatic instruments shriek the alarm. And suddenly Tom Corbet and the space cadets find themselves heading for a weird adventure on Wolf Planet. Captain Strong, meteor swarm coming fast. It looks like a sea of giant buggers. It's disgusting. Hey, won't our tubes explode? The meteors appear suddenly as if shot from some cosmic cannon. Each jagged chunk of mineral is sudden, hurtling death, and the swarm is dense. This time, expert spacecraft is not enough. Bong, 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 bong. We caught one. Seal off this compartment. If we lose our oxygen, we're done. Aye, sir. Maybe you want to put the pipe out, Whew, that was close. Do you think we're badly damaged, Captain? We'll soon see, asshole. We've seem to be through the swarm anyway. Break out the space gear. We'll have a look and keep your fingers crossed. Well, then they're upside down. But the crossed fingers do not help. Is it bad, sir? Bad enough, Tom. The meteor struck our store's hole, and went clean through the ship. The stores are gone. So no shopping this trip. No. When our hole was pierced, the sudden vacuum must have sucked them out into space. And these brakes are too big to be repaired out here. Stand by, we're coming in. Clumsily, the space-suited figures crawl back through a hatch. Then there is a council of war. That's it, then. Magna 3. We can reach it in 24 hours. Magna 3. According to the spaceman's manual, it has water, vegetation. It ought to suit our purpose, sir. It had better. Magna's never been explored. But where there's vegetation, there should be game, food. If there isn't, we're in a bad spot. So you'd better get busy, TJ. Chart us a course to Magna and fast. I'm getting hungry already. What? But charting does not take too long. An hour. Okay. Then the Polaris jets roar back into life. And a day after that, well, it is taking quite a bit. So this is Magna 3. Looks pretty peaceful to me, sir. Maybe it is. Maybe not. We'll play safe. You stay here, asshole. I'm not asshole. I'm Tom. Oh, yeah. Get some water aboard. We'll scout around. Magna 3 is a green paradise, but it is a paradise empty of life, or at least it seems to be. For a while. Do we go on after this breathers? Oh, wait, is he? Well, that's the commander. They got the bubbles wrong, I guess. I don't know. Do we go on after this breathers there? It's beginning to look as if this planet if the only life form on this planet is vegetable. Vegetable, my eye. If those things down there are vegetables, I'm giving up salads as of right now. Great Scott, it's a village. Great Scott, it's a village, but sir, what are they? Those things, they look like wolves. They are wolves. Or they've evolved from wolves, or something very like a wolf. Look at those furred hides. The fangs. So it's a village of werewolves. They're headed this way. Look at the way they're sniffing the air. They caught our scent. I'm sorry, but I had to let one rip. You know, the beans and everything. Anyway, steady. They may be friendly. Friendly? They'll tear us to bits. This'll... No. That did it. Back to the ship. The chase is a nightmare. Howling the wolfmen come on. But the cadets have a long head start. Captain Strong, what happened? Leaping Luna, what are those things? No shooting, gasp. That's not my name. That's what started this. Get, gasp, the hatch closed. The hatch slams shut. Then for hours, the things outside crawl over it, howling, seeking an entrance. They're still trying to get at us, and it's all my fault. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have fired. I lost my head. Forget it. Forget it, Thistle. It's done. They can't get in. Our problem now is to find a way to repair the Polaris and blast out of here. But there is no way. Eventually, the wolfmen retreat, but they do not go far. Oh, man, they pissed all over the outside of the ship. They've claimed it as their own, their territory. They're still out there, Captain. This is the third day. I know. I'd hoped they'd leave, but we can't wait any longer. A few more days without food, and we won't have the strength to repair the Polaris. We'll just have to risk going out. In the end, there is no choice. Men cannot live without food, really. That night, two shadowy figures climbed noiselessly from the Polaris, slip into darkness. No use. With that keen scent of theirs, we haven't got a chance. They've spotted us. Let's go. Asso and TJ are firing in front of the things. That will discourage them. Oh, it was Tom. Well, whatever. Tom is right. He and Strong make the ship safely. But now the old Polaris is a prison, a death trap. They've gone back to their waiting, which leaves us just where we were before. A fine mess I got us into. No practical jokes. No practical jokes, TJ. No smart cracks. What do you know? I'm almost willing to starve now that I've seen this. Skip it, asshole. And you quit blaming yourself, TJ. Okay, so you made a mistake. We'll still get out of this somehow. Somehow? But how? Another day goes by. Another night. And aboard the Polaris, hunger is a grisly guest as they begin to eat each other. A few more days will mean the end. But there is one member of the Polaris crew who does not intend to let that happen, no matter what the consequences to him. Captain Strong, I can't... Captain Strong, I can't find TJ. He's not aboard. He's gone. Gone? No, he wouldn't have been foolish enough to leave the Polaris. I'm pretty sure he was. I'm afraid he has, sir. He felt pretty rotten about the mess we're in. He thought it was his fault. What do we do now? This'll probably went out to try to find food. I know what I'm going to do, but I'll leave what you do to you. That's easy. If that little space monkey can be found, we'll find him. Coming, asshole? You bet I am. Life wouldn't be the same without TJ and his gags. I'm right behind you. I might have known how you'd react. But easy. We'll go down one at a time. With the others cover us. You mean Tom? I mean, I don't know, whatever. Only there is no need for caution. Not any longer. Why, they're gone, all of them. Why? I'm afraid that's not too hard to figure out, Tom. Thistle. They must have captured him. They probably took him to their village. Primitive races run pretty much to pattern. Heathen rite, sacrifice, if Thistle is still alive. He'll be the star attraction of whatever these wolf men are planning. What are we waiting for? Well, it takes a while to get down there, you know. This time there is no danger along the trail. There is no one. Nothing. Looks like we guessed right. The village is deserted, except for that big central building. That's probably where they got Thistle. Let's go. Not even a guard bars the way as the cadets race down the slope through the village. He's in there, but I can hardly see him. He's surrounded by the wolfmen. There are hundreds of them. I can't say what they're doing. We don't have to see. We're going in. I think we need to see. Well, all right. Tensely, nerves quivering, 3 avenging angels charge. What? Suddenly, the charge is halted. Suddenly, 3 pairs of eyes widen in amazement. Hi, guys. Come on in and meet my friends. Well, I'll be a Martian mouse. Why, they're waiting on him as though he were their lord and master. I am in a way, anyway. Come on in, fellers. It's safe. Safe? Maybe. But as far as I can see, these wolfmen are still just that. Wolves. And wolves are dangerous. On your feet, Thistle. We're taking you out of here. But TJ does not move. Instead, he grins and places a hand on the head of one of the wolfmen. Great jumping jets. That thing actually seems delirious with pleasure because he's touching it. I don't get it. Well, you know, I had to do some things with them and for them, and now they're really fond of me. But anyway, don't you ask so? It's simple. We made a little mistake. That's all. Apparently, he never wanted to hurt us. They wanted to make friends with us. Far from it. They're still wolves, or descended from wolves. Since when have wolves wanted to be friendly with human beings? These do, sir. They want it real bad. I told you, we made a little mistake. TJ pauses dramatically, but then his grin breaks out again. And this time the others have to grin, also, even if their grins are a little sheepish. You see, sir, they are descended from animals. Evolution plays all kinds of funny tricks. But it wasn't wolves they evolved from. It was dog. Here, suck my finger. Okay. The end. Well, yeah, I don't know. That wasn't all that great, And somewhat disturbing. Anyway, you want to know how to draw women in their underwear? Well, this amazing invention, Magic Art Reproducer, draw any person in 1 minute. No lessons, no talent. You can draw you. Why would you want to do that? Family, friends, anything from real life, like an artist. Even if you can't draw a straight line. Anyone can draw with this amazing new invention. So you say it projects her onto the drawing board and then you copy it. See, it's an exact replica of her. That's how good you'll be. Yeah. Also excellent for every other type of drawing, but we know you want to just draw women in their underwear or completely nude. Well, now you can. And, oh, look, she's getting naked. See, there you go. You can convince her. I'm a brilliant artist, so it's okay. Normally, you got to say, don't worry, I'm a doctor. But you can also say, don't worry, I'm an artist, and then they'll get naked for you. It's an amazing thing, but it happens. So anyway, you want that amazing device? Well, here's the address. There you go. My Magic Art Producer plus free illustrated guide, how to easily draw artists' models. I will pay postman on delivery, only $1.98 plus postage. Wow, that's a pretty good deal from Norton Products. So don't delay. Order yours today. Hey, space rockets are fun. Well, we've just seen how fun they can be in the adventures of Tom Corbett. For full information on space rockets, you got to order this crap. So it's easy to know all about space rockets with the complete Space Rocketeer. The complete Space Rocketeer also complains information on spacesuits. Oh boy, how to make them and what they will have to be like for real space travel. Booster jet rocket for long-distance space travel. Actual time it will take to reach the moon, Mars, and other planets. Space platforms, when the first rocket will be launched to the moon. Ray and disintegrating guns, and many other important facts. Oh, boy. Man, you get all this for $1. Good Lord. Enjoy many days and weeks of fun with the complete Space Rocketeer. Takes the mystery out of space travel and shows exactly what to do. When you follow the easy instructions, it will be a cinch to launch your own rockets. Everything is simply explained, and the show how pictures are easy to understand. You'll enjoy your comic magazine and television programs much more when you get the complete Space Rocketeer, because you'll be able to understand by doing and seeing for yourself. Brand new, just out. The complete Space Rocketeer is brand new, and you can only get it from us. It is not on sale in stores yet. Be the first to try the complete Space Rocketeer. Send for yours now, and we will rush it by return mail. Remember, it's only $1, and we guarantee you'll like it, or else. Return it, and you'll immediately get your money back, and then some. So there you go. There's the address. Stravon, 43 West 61st Street, New York, 23, New York. And by signing this, you're saying, okay, here's my dollar. Rush my complete space rocketeer by return mail. Unless completely satisfied, I can return it and get my dollar back. Wow, there's no fine print. So I guess it's all up front. They can't claim anything, any kind of, any claims of fraud. They won't be able to answer it because, yeah. Of course, satisfaction will be determined by the seller, I suppose. Could be something like that. I don't know. So there we go. Tom Corbett, Outlaws of Uranus and Other Tales. Wolfman. What was it? The Space Scouts. Crap like that. It's all good fun, isn't it? Sure. All right. Blah, blah. Read that one. Kronos Godwise and LOL marked the ship. Yes, they did. They did. A. Thompson. Wow. Kronos Godwise and Space Dogs. They chased after that bone that apes threw in 2001. That must be the origin of the Space Dog. A. Thompson, $1 in the 1950s. Yes, it was. Okay. All right. I don't have to bother with that. So there we have it. Another exciting episode of Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. So, I don't know. I'll find something for next week. Let's see. I did Captain Atom last week. This was a space thing. Could do a horror comic, but I did one of those recently. Maybe a crime like detective thing. I'll find one of those. Or no, I did a romance comic. That was like before Captain Atom. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I'll probably find some like crime story type thing. And then we'll do that. That's next week on Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. Because it's comics that I read in the morning on Sunday. To it. I wish I could say, oh man, there's all this other excitement coming your way, but it's just going to be some old comic. It's in the public domain, so I can sit here and read the whole damn thing, even the ads. So I don't know. I get a kick out of it. If you want to check it out, be here next Sunday. Anywho, there you go. That's the show. We'll do something together again soon, and I'll see you then. But thanks for watching this, and like I said, we'll do it again soon. Have a good rest of your day. All day.